You're watching India Debates. I'm Rahul Shivshankar. For weeks now, Sharad Pawar, the Union Agriculture Minister, has explained away the onion emergency by offering a guilt-inducing perspective. He said, we, the middle class, shouldn't let our selfish interest in keeping onion prices down get in the way of the impoverished farmer making a little bit of money. No one with a sense of fairness can quibble with such an equitable view of the situation, and by and large, we've come to accept our plight. We are ready to pay more if the farmer benefits. But today, we are very disappointed to inform you that Mr. Pawar was being, at best, manipulative. In the first such investigation conducted by any TV channel, NewsX has travelled to the homes of the farmers in the country's onion belt, Nashik, Maharashtra, to discover that farmers were paid not rupees 60, not rupees 40, not rupees 20 or rupees 10, but as little, in some cases, as 50 paisa for each kilogram of onion they harvested. Can you believe that? Documentary evidence with NewsX of such exploitative contracts are available. We have shown them all through the day today. The remaining rupees 99.50 paisa is being pocketed by a nexus of traders and NCP functionaries to the best of our knowledge. NewsX has secretly recorded some of these politically connected traders confessing to hoarding onions bought on the cheap, only to be sold later when there was a shortage in the market. All of this begs us to ask a fundamental question. After today's expose, can the government honestly deny it prevented the onion mafia from cheating you? Let's put that question out to our panel. Joining us this evening, Salman Soz, spokesperson of the Congress Party, Dr. Devinder Sharma, economist, Mr. V.M. Singh, convener of the Rashtriya Kisan Mazdoor Sangh. Also joining us, Mr. Piyush Goyal, Rajya Sabha MP of the Bharatiya Janata Party. And from Nasik, to give you a view right from the ground, Shiv Pujan Jha, the reporter who has broken this story today, who carried out this investigation, who is accompanied by a farmer who is going to sit and tell us the reality that exists on the ground, lest any of our guests say that we have made up any of these facts. Let me first begin with you, Mr. Soz. Mr. Soz, it's ironic that the government has bought itself some space by suggesting that the farmer is benefiting, that this time let the farmer make some money. We would never have grudged the farmer his indulgence. But this expose shatters that claim, and a great breach of faith has been committed by the government. Please respond to this.
Well, as far as the Congress Party is concerned, and I've been speaking about this very issue for several days now, the Congress Party's stand is that there are multiple reasons for the current kind of the spate of high prices of onions. One reason that many analysts are also talking about is the kind of an extended monsoon, which has actually taken a toll on the logistical part of getting onion produce to the traders and then to the retail markets. The second part of this is, of course, that there have been accusations of hoarding in different onion-producing states, and that is also something that the government has actually has taken cognizance of. In fact, the Maharashtra government in August and September kind of ordered crackdowns on those people who are hoarding, and suddenly the prices dropped by between 25 to 30%. As far as Mr. Sharad Pawar's statement about Kisans and as in farmers benefiting from higher onion prices, I think the supply chain has multiple elements, and farmers are part of it, but then there's a multiplicity of traders in the middle. Then it gets to the retail markets. So
I'm tempted,
news reporters have found out, for instance, that farmers are not getting the good deal. Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Soz, I'm tempted. I'm tempted to step in here. I'm tempted to step in here and rebut you point for point, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to resist that temptation.
Please.
I'm going to bring in both Mr. V.M. Singh and Dr. Devinder Sharma. V.M. Singh, please.
I don't understand this at all. We are talking about the farmer selling his onion, compelled to sell his onion for under 1 rupee a kg. Let me go a little further. Whether it's 1 rupee a kg or it's 5 rupees a kg. Onion costs a farmer about 7 to 8 rupees a kg. Nonetheless, what is happening today is such as onions being sold for 100 rupees here, 80 rupees, 90 rupees. Who are the people? Now Mr. So says one thing. He says, well, people in the multiple chain, there are people around. A farmer who sows onions for 6 months, 4 months, 3 months, for 6 months at least, he is putting his sweat, everything into it as such. He gets 50 paisa. This chain gets 99 rupees 50 paisa. How wonderful, Mr. Soos. I can't get better than that.
Mr. Soos, a quick response. The proof is there.
But I'm not suggesting that is, I'm not suggesting, in fact, I mean, am I suggesting that this is the right thing for this country?
It's not about right and wrong. I think it's a bit too late in the day.
That there is a multiplicity of traders in the supply chain.
Mr. Soos, it's not our job to monitor these multiplicity of traders. It's your job. As the government, it's your job to crack down on hoarders. But what do we have?
Right.
What do we have? We have the Food Minister K.V. Thomas
and
coming
in. And that is
Mr.
why
Soos,
the government of Maharashtra did
what?
That is why the government of Maharashtra did.
Break the cartel? How can they break the cartel when our investigations suggest that a large number of the people in this cartel are NCP leaders?
Has one FIR been registered so far in the whole country?
I cannot speak for the NCP. I'm
asking you. We are talking about the government. We are talking about the government of Maharashtra. What FIR has been registered?
Yes.
What criminal action has been taken against some of these traders who have completely extorted the farmer and then passed on this extortion to the middle class, to the taxpayers?
By the way, look, I mean, this is not just the middle class. This is for the entire country. By the way, onions are not just a middle class food item. They're for everybody. So this is not about a class warfare of middle class versus the poor or the rich.
Don't put words in my mouth, Mr.
So the point is that the Maharashtra government in August and September. I'm just saying that the Maharashtra government in August and September. You can check the news reports yourself. After they took steps, they started rating these traders. Prices went down by 25 to 30%. On September 20th, the government of India wrote to all states which are producing onions and said that we must check whether or not there's hoarding going on. If there is, please take strict action. There's a letter from the minister, from the union minister, which went to all state governments. So it is not as if the union government has not done anything. For example, the minimum export price for onions was raised twice.
So state governments are to blame.
Exports kind of
the Chief Minister of Maharashtra is to blame.
So it's not as if the government of India is not doing anything.
The Chief Minister of Maharashtra is to blame. The Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh is to blame.
What do you mean?
Not the centre. No, I'm asking you a simple question. The point is that onions are still selling at 100 rupees. Let me just bring in Mr. Piyush Goyal. Mr. Goyal,
this is a centre.
Can the centre?
No.
Can the
onions
centre
today are selling at 80 rupees a kilo.
We were told in good faith. We were told in good faith, Mr. Goyal. We were told in good faith by the Union Agriculture Minister, Mr. Sharad Pawar, swallow this hike because it's benefiting the farmer, the poor farmer who gets nothing is being benefited. So in good faith we did. We sat back. Today this expose has come out and shattered this myth. Farmers are getting 50 paisa for a kilogram.
Rahul, at the outset you must appreciate that 72% of India's onion production is in states ruled by the Congress or its partners. In fact, 52% of that is in just 3 states run by the Congress. That's Maharashtra 28.5%, Karnataka 14.5%, and Andhra Pradesh 13%. Now when you put this in perspective, it's very evident that when the situation is that onion production hasn't fallen. So if you see the last 4 years statistics, onion production has year on year gone up. And there is no reason why onion production could not have satisfied the needs of India. Having said that, if there was a crisis, and largely I say this crisis is of the making of the Congress and their allies, because Maharashtra leads, Lasangao and Nasik, largely controlled by NCP and Congress, leads the onion markets in the country. Now, if they had sincerity of purpose, it is very evident. In an earlier show, Congress spokespersons tried to suggest that 3 months was the monsoon period and therefore the onion supply was down. It's not as if monsoon is happening for the first time in the country. You can predict the supplies, you can predict the output, you can predict if there's any shortages anywhere. That is the role a good responsive government which sincerely wants to sort out inflation would do, rather than hiking interest rates as they have done today again, because I think that's only killing growth. Onion prices are not going to come down by increased interest rates.
Okay, Mr. Soos and Mr. VM Singh want to both respond. Mr. Soos, one second. Mr. Soos, you please quickly respond to that, because
Rahul, can I also come in?
I'm bringing you in, sir. I'm bringing all of you in. Go ahead, Mr.
Piyush Goyal would have us believe. Well, first of all, this is, in my opinion, this is not a Congress versus BJP issue, as far as I'm concerned. Mr. Goyal would have you believe that the Congress state governments are deliberately sabotaging the re-elect. That's what Mr. Goyal seems to be implying, that by not cracking down and by not bringing down the prices of onions, that the chief ministers of Maharashtra, Karnataka, they are conspiring against Sheila Dixit, for example, who's going in for a very tough re-election. So, I mean, what kind of logic is this? Congress party wants these prices to come down. So it is not as if our governments at the state level are basically sabotaging our own interests.
Okay.
What kind of logic is that? So Mr. Goyal may, Mr. Goyal, by the way,
I'll tell you the logic.
This year is down. It is down this year compared to previous years.
By 5%.
Crop production
area is down 5%.
9%.
5%.
So
5%.
No, 5%.
Is that going to make such a
well, if the
big
government knows that, it could have known that controlled the exports.
But crop area is down 9%.
No, you have all the statistics.
Exports, by the way, are also down this year.
But you have no explanation.
Stop the exports, get the imports, do something.
Okay, let me just, one second, gentlemen. I don't want this to be lost in a crossfire between the BJP and the Congress. One second, gentlemen. Let me just bring in Mr. Devinder Sharma.
Political, Mr. Goyal, then.
No, it is political. It is very much
it's
a political issue.
Political. It's about proactive action.
Let us not divorce the politics from
this. You have to have proactive governance. That is important.
It is also a political issue.
And it's not a question of Congress making it. It is the individuals in your party.
As far as...
Have I talked about Madhya Pradesh?
No, please, gentlemen, 1 minute. Gentlemen, 1 minute. Let me just bring it. Just 1 minute.
Rahul, 1 minute. Rahul, let me tell Mr. Soos, if at all your party was sincere, you would not have created a series of corruption scams in the past if you were really bothered about getting re-elected. And onion is just one more symptom.
Now,
when you have allowed prices to go up,
where does the corruption
you could have
come in
controlled
here?
exports, you could have brought in some imports. You have not done it at the right time because probably some people are profiteering from it.
But 1 minute. You know, we can constantly.
We have controlled exports and we have brought in imports. I don't know.
No, just a minute. Well, we'll come to that. We'll come to the imports. We'll come to the imports in just a few moments. Okay. Devinder Sharma, Dr. Devinder Sharma, please. I know you've been listening in very patiently.
Well, Rahul, first of all, I think you deserve compliments, your channel deserve compliments for actually bringing this reality to the fore, because I know lots of people, including some in the print media, also believe that farmers have been paid a very high price, so therefore there is no reason to grudge. But having said that, and I don't want to embarrass the Congress spokesperson here anymore now, but the fact of the matter is, and if I'm sure you would remember on many of your shows, I have said that there is a cartel working. It is comprising of both the wholesale and the retailers, and they are jointly exploiting both the farmers as well as the consumers. And when I say this, I'm also including, it's not only the unorganized retail, it is even the organized retail, the Reliance Fresh, the Big Bazaar, the metros. They have also exploited the farmers by charging the consumers as much as the other people have done. So both, there's no difference. First of all, let's be very clear about that. Both organized and unorganized are hand in glove in exploiting the consumers as well as the farmers. Now, having said that, I think this was basically indirect taxation for elections. elections. You know, we were supposed, you know, they have got the money from us. Business Standard, I suppose, is one paper in Hindi which has done an expose saying that 8,000 crores by a conservative estimate is what the trade has earned in the last 4 months. Now that is shocking indeed, and that tells you why you know, political parties were rallying around.
That's
because
why
as I've been saying repeatedly, that these traders are the money bags. No, Rahul, these traders are the money bags for political parties, and they have done their job. And Mr. Sharad Pawar, as I've been saying, is not in the control of the UPA government. He is an independent entity. Nobody dared to ask him a question, and he has gone around doing whatever he likes doing. And he has been actually protecting the trade all these years. He has been protecting the hoarders and the black marketeers.
Well,
every time he opens his mouth, the prices shoot up.
I just want to.
That's okay. But still we know it.
Not on this show.
That's okay.
To actually,
but we know, Rahul, we know that every time he opens his mouth, the prices go up.
Well, that's, you know, those are informed speculations on your part. He's not on this show, so we must give him that benefit of doubt. But the fact of the matter is that our investigations point very closely to the hands of big political parties, including the NCP. There's no denying this. These traders that we've interviewed through our spy cams, through our discreet cameras, have shown these individuals talking about making 200%, 300% profits. Now they've been allowed to do so, Mr. Soos, and Dr. Devinder Sharma is bringing into bear his experience, and he's saying that this is political funding. People are talking about it. That's why it's a political issue, Mr. Soos, and you've got to respond tonight.
Yes, I can respond to that as well. The point is that as far as, you know, I'm trying to understand the logic here. Let's try to understand Mr. Sharma's logic. I hope I got his last name correct. Now, the logic is that we are making things really bad for the people of India so that we get money from some people in the middle.
So when is greed come in the way? No, when is greed? When is greed come in the way, sir? When is greed? No, you're being very naive, Mr. Soos. You can't expect, you know, we've already fallen for one lemon. I mean, the lemon that farmers are making money.
Are you serious?
We've already fallen for one lemon that farmers are making money. But don't tell us, sir, that greed. Is this the logic? Don't please tell us that people look at repercussions when they're looting the exchequer. If that were the case, so the exposes that we've been done. Sir, please, as a collective, I'm not speaking for the government. It's not my place. Individuals hardly ever work for collective objectives. I have never seen that. I'm sure, sir, as a politician who's been part of the system, you would know that. There are black sheep, and we need to crack down on the black sheep. Mr. Piyush Goyal, there is something wrong with this logic. There is something wrong. The Congress, okay, let's for a moment take the Congress point of view. Why would the Congress want to shoot itself in the foot? After all, the BJP has also learnt in 1999-98 in Delhi that, you know, letting onions run riot or reduce the country to tears is actually counterproductive.
I think, Rahul, the Congress over the last few years has demonstrated that they brazenly indulge in corruption, expecting that when elections come in, they'll divert the issues, maybe bring in a bill, a farcical bill which really brings no benefit to the people, but they can convince the people that they've given something new, or divert the focus to some secularism debate which is non-existent and win the election. But in the process, they believe they can get away with a thing like the onion crisis. Secondly, it also demonstrates that they don't have vision. They don't have government control on the whole process. If at all they could visualize that production is going to be down,
Mr. Singh wants to make a point
that production will not come in, they should have acted on it in the past. They had 4 months to act.
Well, let me tell you, sir,
predictions came 4 months ago.
There is an APMC Act. There is an APMC Act. For several years it's been languishing. States have been asked to cooperate in amending it so that farmers get due and just retribution under it. But a lot of state governments, including some run by the Bharatiya Janata Party, have only implemented this act in partial. So,
can I just say something?
Yeah, Mr. Singh, please go ahead.
None of the state governments, whether it's the BJP government or the Congress government, is interested as such in making any amends to the APMC Act.
No, elaborate on that point.
I'll tell you why. They're all making money through the traders Right now, let me just come back to Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh is number 3 in the onion production this time. Last time it had 21.5 lakh tons of onions, compared to about 47 in Maharashtra. What is happening there? The rates are 80 rupees, 90 rupees even there. You can point a finger at somebody else, and Mr. Goyal, I must tell you, in 1997-98, when onions were selling for 80 rupees in the market, I myself personally had about 20 acres of onion that time, and I've got this bill here to show. This bill can show here that I sold my onions for 80 paisa a kg and vowed never to produce onions again. Number 2.
No, hold that up. Hold that up. We want to see that. Hold that up for that camera number 2. Hold that up. We're going to cut to that.
Absolutely.
Let's just cut to that. That's the receipt.
That's the receipt.
I see.
Of the APMC in Azadpur market here.
Okay.
It's in my name, VM Singh.
Okay, Mr. Goyal, respond to that. This is a problem that afflicts all administrations.
Absolutely, and we learned our lesson after we lost that election. But I thought the other government subsequently will take care. But it doesn't seem to be reflected
what's
in the way
happening in
there's
MP today?
been runaway inflation in the last 3 or 4 years.
Mr. Goyal, what's happening in MP today?
Particularly food.
What's happening in Gujarat today? Okay, let me ask Gujarat. Are you aware Gujarat is also a good producing area there for onions? It's in the top 5.
By the way, Gujarat
Also onions are being sold at the same rates, and the farmers are getting the same rates again.
Gujarat
in Bhopal, I was in Bhopal just 3 days ago. Farmers are getting the same rates again there. It is cutting across party lines. Farmers are being taken for a ride.
Okay, let him respond.
We need to do something on that.
Let him respond. Mr. Goyal, respond. Very quickly respond.
Well, Gujarat, for your information, produces 4%.
1 minute, sir. 1 minute. Let Mr.
Of
Goyal.
the onion in the country. It still continues to get onions from out of the state, particularly from Maharashtra.
Yes, I'm coming.
And supplement its requirement.
7.4%.
So it's not entirely as if Gujarat has a complete control on its own.
Okay, very quickly.
Onion demand.
I don't think you're right there.
Doctor, well, Mr. VM Singh finds faults with your
Your
statistics.
figures are 7.4% last year. Before that, it was 14%.
Can I come in?
Year before that.
Okay, very quickly, Dr. Sharma.
I'm sorry, I have the figures from the National Horticulture Board.
We have the
If you
same.
want to pan that, you're most welcome to do that. The Gujarat production last year was 704.
That's right, 7.4.
7 lakh tons.
That's right.
Which is 4.32%. Here it is, National Horticulture Board.
Okay.
So Rahul, you may like to put it up.
Okay, okay.
7.4 lakh
We are
metric tons.
focusing on that too. We are focusing. I think everyone can see it. Dr. Devinder Sharma wants
7
to come in.
lakh tons.
Dr.
It's
Devinder Sharma and Mr.
4.32%.
Soos.
Rahul,
Yes, please, go ahead. Dr. Devinder Sharma, go ahead.
Rahul, can I, if I take this, if I take this, issue to a different, level,
Please.
then I must tell you that the average income of a farming family in India is rupees 2,115. This is what the Parliament has been told. 2,115 is the average income of a farming family in India per month, which is less than what you pay for your ayah who comes to clean your utensils. Now, this is primarily because what we have shown today, if 50 paisa is what the farmer is earning, you can imagine that will be his income in any case. Now, the point is that, farmers on the one hand are committing suicide, and we have had about 3 lakh farmers committing suicide. And globally, let me also tell you that the output price of agriculture had remained static for last 20 years. And if you adjust for inflation, what the farmer is getting today is exactly what he was getting about 20 years back. So imagine, that's the reason why the farmers are dying on one hand,
Okay.
and that's also the reason why the trade has been
I want to
exploiting,
go. That's a very
going for the
important
kill.
point.
And that's the reason why we have not been...
No, that's a very, very important point. It's also, of course, the fact that cereals are being subsidized and farmers, therefore, are being pushed away from cultivating vegetables, etc. But I'm just coming to that larger point. On the issue of the farmers and their plight, I want to go across to Shri Jha. Shri Jha, I'm sorry that you've had to listen in. The debate was heating up, but you have with you some farmers. Let's get a sense from them, right from the ground in Nashik, so that our reports can be corroborated here firsthand.
Yes, before, in fact, I go to the farmer, in fact, there is one good news that I'm taking approximately 10 kg of onion for my wife for Deepavali gift, and I purchased it from a roadside vendor directly from the farmer who sold it to me at rupees 14 a kg. Can you imagine? There is another shocking news. Over 4, in fact, quintals of gold has been kept as mortgage in various banks across Nasik by the farmers. Kitna rakha gaya hai gold?
4 क्विंटल से ज्यादा सोना गिरवा रखा गया है। नासिक के जो किसान हैं, प्याज के किसान, उन्होंने सबने गिरवा रखे प्याज निकाला है, लेकिन बरसात से जो प्याज खराब हो गया है वो सोना भी नहीं निकाल पा रहे हैं और खुद भी कुछ कर नहीं पा रहे।
Another perspective from another social activist who has been fighting for the rights of the farmers. हर वक्त यही होता है कि एनसीपी पूरी तरह से मार्केट के मंडी को रूल करती है। अब वो क्यों लग रहा है कि किसान हर बार मरता है?
Let us understand first that this is not an economical problem, it is a political problem.
Why the political problem? Earlier you were saying that there has been lots of political funding which has been done by the traders, and as such these prices have been jacked up.
Because there is no shortage of onions in the market. If you are ready to pay the proper price, any quantity of onions are available. And if you analyze the entire conditions,
Right.
you will come to know that the entire system is compelled to sell all these onions at a higher rate because of election funding.
Okay, fine. Rahul, now I'll show you the documents, and possibly this may be a shocker for the panel which we have here presently. We are joined by a farmer who possibly invested over 75,000 rupees for 1 acre of cultivation of onion, and he managed to sell in approximately 81 kg of onion at a mere 162 rupees, out of which 122 rupees was deducted as transport charges and the charges for mandi, the same mandi which is controlled by the NCP. Finally, this person managed to get just 40 rupees. कितना पैसा मिला आपको 81 किलो बेचने पर?
40 रुपए मिल गया हमको।
खर्च कितना हुआ था?
खर्च हुआ तो 1 एकड़ में जो खर्च हुआ तो 1 लाख रुपया खर्च हुआ था।
अब कैसे पूरा करेंगे?
अब खर्च तो पूरा तो नहीं कर सकता हम तो। हम पूरा कर सकते तो हमको तो ऐसा लगता है, हमके रिश्ते में लगता है तो खाली माननीय आमदार श्री कोतवाल वो तो हमारा खर्च भर सकता है।
And he is naming the person, Mr. Kotwal, who is in control of the mandi.
There you are.
He is very close to NCP.
And we are being told it's not a political
MLA,
problem.
The person who...
No, and we are being told it's not a political problem. Shri Pujan, thanks for giving us that 360 view from the ground. I just want to quickly come across to Mr. Soos. Mr. Soos, you've heard this. You've heard this. What are you going to do about it? Forget about, giving me assurances, countering what we have to say. What are you going to do about it? Are we going to see arrests? Are you going to go back to your party and tell them that we need to have arrests made?
Look, the party, the party doesn't need to hear from me. The party already hears it from the people.
And does nothing.
The party is fully aware of what is going on and how the people are suffering. So please do not think that they need to hear from me.
What's it doing?
You want to talk about political corruption? I'll tell you what why things are the way they are in this country. Let's talk about political corruption. When you have this kind of a situation, for example, and you're saying, and as your reporters are saying, that this is a way election campaigns are funded.
People are saying.
Please tell me. I mean,
the people are saying. They're on camera.
If you spend, for example, you have an election rally. You have an election. Please, on newspapers, you keep reading about how election rallies these days cost 10 crores to 100 crore rupees. Who pays for that? Those rallies? You have to repay those people one way or the other. We must kind of confront this issue directly. Please do not tell me
at the cost of the farmers.
What are you saying? What are you saying, sir? You are repaying them at the cost of... No, you are repaying them. This is bizarre logic. At the cost of whom, sir? At the cost of whom? At the cost of the poor farmer? You have to repay them.
Rahul, this is absolute.
This is bizarre.
Please, please.
Mr. Soos, please. I think you're walking into...
Listen to me. You have to listen to me because you're quoting
Rahul, this is deplorable if that is how the Congress party is funding its rallies.
Of 10 to 100 crore rupees. Who's paying for
you can make any sort of allegation.
Who's paying for your rallies for which 10 to 100 crore rupees are spent? No, the newspapers are reporting this. The newspapers are reporting this. Who's paying for your rallies?
Mr. Sos, you can
You know, let me just,
fund your rally.
it would be good. No, no, hang on.
By making people
You know, we will all know who's paying. No, no, I'll tell
Sorry,
you.
Rahul, I need
Yes,
to be
please.
able to give a rejoinder.
Answer this question.
Okay, Mr. Sos, let him
Answer
rebut.
this question.
Let him
I'm
rebut.
sorry,
Yes.
Mr. Sos, you can
Yes.
speak about the Congress party funding its rallies by making the people pay 100 rupees for onion because you believe that's the way political party funding should be done. Mine is a cadre-based party. My workers come on their own. We do not spend the kind of monies you may be spending.
You're on slippery ground. I don't want to get into this.
Please speak for your own party,
for both the
not for my
BJP.
party.
For both the BJP. No, 1 minute, sir. I have two questions.
Rahul, they can
I have two
questions not for my party.
Yeah, 1 minute. I have one question for each one of you.
Well,
No, no.
newspapers have reported a lot of things about your party.
Indian
Mr.
Express has reported this.
Let's not go down this route. Let's not go down this route because I just have one. No, gentlemen, gentlemen, I just have one question for each one of you. Why don't both of you, in individual capacities, the Congress and the Bharatiya Janata Party support the RTI, support the move to bring political funding under the RTI?
You want me to go
Mr.
first?
Sos, yeah, which one?
Can
Mr.
I
Goyal,
answer?
Mr. Goyal, go ahead. Mr. Goyal, you go ahead. If it's such a big issue,
I
go
would.
ahead. Go ahead, sir.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. Who's going first? Mr. Goyal, you go ahead. Go first.
Okay. Listen, the Bharatiya Janata Party has a very well-established process. We have two schemes under which we collect money from our cadres, from our workers, from all across the country. You are aware we are a deeply cadre-based party with roots at the grassroots. We have a program which we call Ajivan Sahayog
I understand
Nidhi.
that, sir, but answer
every
the
year
question.
our workers contribute money under the Ajivan Sahayog Nidhi.
So if you have
we
nothing
have
to
another
hide.
program called Vishesh Sahayog Nidhi,
Okay.
in which people contribute, our workers, and any donation above 20,000 is reported to the income tax authorities and to the Election Commission of India, duly audited. So my party has a completely proper documented
So I
process.
take it you'll have
And
no
we
problem.
go by that as per the Election Commission
No,
law.
so you will
As
have no
regards your
problem.
RTI point,
No, Mr.
as-
Goyal, yes,
as
please
regards
answer that
the
point.
RTI point,
Yes.
we have no problem. We have no problem, but let me tell you, the RTI point that you have raised, we have units all over the country. The RTI will have to draw up the guidelines. Suppose in 10,000 centers all over the country,
They are ready.
people ask for every small donation.
They are ready.
At the center, I will not be able to provide 10,000 answers.
They are ready.
I don't
They are
have
ready.
paid employees like the government.
So many
It's a
people are saying
volunteer-based
that they are
party.
ready.
None
They
of
are
us
ready.
gets paid for it.
Mr. Sos, why is your party against the idea of bringing election funding under the RTI? You're speaking here. You're taking the moral high ground. Your party is practicing something completely different when it comes to the CIC's request. Why?
No. I will just say that Mr. Goyal is a very seasoned politician and he gives a very political response to your question. I think what we want in this country is reform of the funding process for elections and campaigns. Now, whether RTI is the right way to do that, or whether one should do something with the
If you have
election
nothing to
commission,
hide,
these are
if you have nothing to hide, there's an instrument. There's an instrument introduced. No, there's an instrument. No, Mr. Sos, there is an instrument introduced by the UPA chairperson Sonia Gandhi. She takes credit for it. The UPA government takes credit for it. Let's not find fault with such an empowering tool. Why are you discrediting the tool? No, then submit yourself to scrutiny under it. If you're proud of it, it's obviously doing a good job. Submit yourself to the scrutiny. Well, listen, I really don't want to go down this route. It's already 10 o'clock. We're running out of time. We're running out of time. I think we've gone completely off tangent. The fact of the matter is that tonight,
one quick point. Very quickly.
Rahul.
Yes. I just want to make sure that I just want to make sure that when I was raising this political corruption issue, that I was actually referring to these Indian Express articles about the BJP's mega rallies preaching 10 crore to 100 crore.
Are you saying, sir, that this is a... No, this happened in isolation. Please, let's not go down this road. Please, gentlemen. Let's...
You very clearly said that the onions are being sold at 100 rupees by your party men to fund your rallies. The BJP is not involved in this. Our workers
not
come
on.
Okay,
let's go.
What is this?
Okay, gentlemen, we are wrapping up this debate. We are wrapping up this debate.
What are you talking about?
Mr. Soos, we are wrapping up this debate. You've succeeded.
What are you saying?
No, you've succeeded in obfuscating this issue. I congratulate you on that. You're obviously a seasoned politician, but don't want to admit it. We leave it at that. The fact of the matter is, the bottom line is that the farmer is making nothing. 99 rupees 50 paisa is going into the pockets of agents. You're being extorted. Right from the middle class down to the paying public in the states, in the smaller towns, in the mufassils are all being extorted. It lies exposed here on News X. Let's hope that the government actually now takes action and criminal charges follow on the basis of our investigation. We're leaving it at that. Thanks indeed, gentlemen, for joining us for the spirited discussion. Lots more coming up in just a few moments. Don't go away.